Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. You guys, this is my first scripted review on a TV show that I'm so excited. I feel like if it was going to have to be any show, this show is it, okay? The Chi is back, y'all. Season 4, episode 1. And y'all, I'm telling you, if you didn't catch up, go watch the other seasons so that you could be caught up, because you missed a lot if this your first season, okay? You definitely missed a lot, but when you start watching, you ain't gonna want to stop. And I'm just letting you know that's just that on that, okay? Let's get into it, all right? So when it opened up, okay, we got Kevin walking down the hall, all right, okay? Keisha is giving birth. Now, when I first saw, I said, Keisha giving birth already? Like, what in the world is going on? Emmett is inside the bathroom. Somebody trying to get in, and he looks scared, nervous, or, you know, like it's about to go down. Whoever is knocking at that door, he definitely don't want them to come in. Okay, so now Kevin's walking through the hallways, and he done found Jake and Jerika kissing. Y'all, I said, Lord, we gonna have to get Kevin some new friends out here, okay? That's what we gonna have to do. But y'all, the opening, it was a lot going on, and it was a lot to explain. It's a lot to catch, okay? But we see the mayor, okay, standing over the city, looking, taking in some air. He turns around and somebody shoot him. Y'all, I said, what in the world is going on? Okay, I'm not ready for all this action that you're giving me. And we just started, like, literally, we only like 2 minutes in, okay? But we come to find out that this is a month prior, okay? So I'm like, dang, only a month? All this happened in a month? Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Now, y'all, Kevin and Jerika waking up in a panic because they in the house doing what they not supposed to be doing because they some kids still in high school, okay? And the father's done meditating, so they might get caught. Okay? Kevin goes over to her like, I got you, I got you, I got you. Gonna give her this long kiss, okay? Mind you, they in high school, y'all. They in high school, too young to be out there kissing, sleeping in each other's bed, but that's not none of my business, okay? He jumps out the window, throws all his stuff out of the window, and jumps out. Meanwhile, the father is looking at the cameras like, this little nigga got me messed up. Okay? No, he is not jumping out of my window from my daughter's room. Okay? So now I'm thinking Kevin about to go home. No, Kevin decides that he's going to put his clothes on in the front yard and go knock on the front door like he didn't just jump out this girl's window. The father came downstairs, y'all. When he came down, he walked down them stairs so fast and opened that door. I thought he was about to give him the business, but he ain't give him the business. He was like, hey, Kevin, come on in. I was like, oh, we not going to say nothing. We just going to let him in for breakfast? Okay, let's do it then. He watched it. So Jerika's father asked Kevin, do he watch the news? Kevin like, no, I get all my news from the shade room. I said, well, you need to do better. Okay, sir? Do better. But anyway, he tells them that there's a group of young boys going around vandalizing buildings and businesses in the neighborhood. And Jerika's like, and so why should we care? Why do we care about what these other kids is doing? And he's like, because this is a bad betrayal of like black kids. You know, they not gonna want to bring the Olympics to this side of the town. And she like, why do we don't nobody like the Olympics? Kevin like, I like the Olympics. She like, Kevin, like, come on now, you're not helping my case. He was like, no one's gonna want to go where they don't feel safe. And so Jerika's like, well, who's supposed to make us feel safe? The police? He like, all police ain't bad. And I was like, all police ain't bad, and neither is all black people. So just because them little kids is out there vandalizing buildings ain't got nothing to do with me, okay? All police ain't bad, and all black people ain't bad, and that's just that. Leave it at that and move on. But anyway, so on the news, we hear, you know, that they coming for the mayor. Is he the mayor or is he the gang leader, okay? So I'm assuming that this is going to be a big part of the mayor's storyline, because, you know, he's going to have to try to clean up his image because, you know, last season they done went and they done dropped the foul on him, and now they putting all his business out here, okay? So he's going to have to try to clean that up. So I know that that's part of what's about to happen and unfold in this season. But anyway, so Emmett's wife comes into the, you know, restaurant, and, you know, she's flirting with Emmett or whatever the case may be. But she really got some business to go handle with Dominique, okay? AKA Lala. So she goes over to her. She's like, yo, you know, my edible man is out. Like, do you know how to make edibles? She like, nah, I don't know how to do none of that. That ain't my thing. I do know somebody who make them who probably can teach me or whatever the case may be. So they like, having this conversation about, trying to get these edibles popping. And Emmett come in and talk about something. What y'all talking about? Y'all talking about me? They like, Emmett, ain't nobody talking about you. Go ahead, Emmett. Ain't nobody talking about you. And I was like, that guilt catching up. Because if y'all remember last season, Emmett had sex with Dominique right before he proposed to Tiffany. Y'all remember, okay? So now he's sitting there thinking that every time somebody keep keying and laughing, it's about him. The guilt is real. Very, very real. But anyway, we get to another scene where the mayor drops by to give Victor, Jake's big brother, played by Luke James, oh my God, that Luke James. But anyway, drops by to give him the tuition money, okay? But he was being real nasty. Like you could just, you work for me. We don't work together. But the part that really stood out to me was how he went over to Victor's girlfriend, Imani, like, if you need anything, let me know. Now, y'all know Imani is trans. So I'm like, you into that or what? Why are you walking up on her like that? What's that about? So I already know something. Y'all, you got to remember, when it comes to these scripted shows, it's a lot of stuff that we got to follow. So we got to find out what's going on with the mayor, okay? And we got to find out why he being creepy with Victor's girlfriend. Anyway. So now we get to Keisha. And Keisha is with Tiffany, and they are sitting there trying to find something to wear. We find out in this episode that Keisha is giving her baby up for adoption. Well, we knew last season that she was considering keeping it, but now we know that she's not actually going to keep the baby. She's going to give it up for adoption. So she's trying to find something to wear. She's really nervous about going. Tiffany like, girl, if you don't get some maternity clothes, you pulling out all these clothes like you in denial. Like, you're pregnant. It is what it is. She's like, I guess I am. Like, I guess I still don't feel like I'm pregnant. Given the circumstances that she was kidnapped and raped in a basement, and she's carrying this man's baby, I think at some point you will be kind of in denial that you actually, about to give birth to a baby that you really don't want, and given the circumstances of how it got here. You know what I mean? But anyway, so then we find out that Emmett's dad is dating freaking Dominique. I was like, oh, the triangle, the love triangle, okay? You effed him and his father? Okay. But anyway, when she goes over to him, she's like, I gotta tell you something. He like, what you gotta tell me? She like, it's about your son. He like, what? She's like, I effed him. He like, well, I guess it is what it is. Okay. And y'all, I'm looking at Lala Dominique. Like, did she get a BBL? Because her butt was looking super duper big. Okay, bigger than normal. Now, I'm used to seeing her with a little nice booty, but this booty was like a Nicki Minaj booty, so I was a little thrown by that, but it is what it is, right? We just gonna keep it moving. So Emmett's father go to him like, so you gonna propose to your wife in front of your mistress? He like, man, I know I told her not to tell you, yo. You don't know how to keep a secret. You better not say nothing. You better not say nothing. I'm like, It's only a matter of time before Tiffany find out, because now the father know, and it's about to go down. I am going to say that I'm glad that, Dominique was being honest with him, and that shows that maybe she really is serious about this relationship with the father or whatever the case may be. But y'all know it be a lot going on in these series, so follow me. Now, Kevin and Jerika and Jake are walking down the street, and she want him to come with her to the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. And he's just like, nah, I'm about to go play ball with Jake. And he like, but I love you. And Jake like, you love her? I ain't never tell her B, I love her. And I was like, oh, we real graphic out here. The hate is real, Jake. Okay, now I can't get out of my brain that you was kissing her in the stairway. So at this point, I just feel like you hating. You really hating. So now the mayor and his wife, Rosalind, a.k.a. Candy Burks, okay, go to meet up with Tracy. Now, Tracy is doing this whole Black Lives Matter movement because she lost her son to gang violence, police brutality. So, she's, trying to, run a movement. So he goes in and he's like, let me help you. She was like, I don't need your help. I don't want your help. He was like, but I know you need some money. She like, well, yeah, I kind of do need some money, so I ain't going to turn down no money. If you want to fund this, you want to fund this, okay? So he goes close to her, and he whispers in her ear, like, I'm not who you think I am. And I was like, so we just flirting in front of the wife, but y'all got to remember, they only together just for show, okay? They not really in love and married. This is just for show. So as he's leaving, Rosalind like, make sure she got the info. because this is going to help clean up his image, okay? He's going to stand for the Black Lives Matter movement. He's going to be part of this whole police brutality movement, and then that's going to clean up his image, and they're going to not think that he's a gangster anymore. So I already see his MO. I figured it out. That's part of the storyline, okay? That's why he want to do this whole little, oh, I'm part of the movement, so that people won't look at him as part of the problem. Okay, but anyway, when Kevin and Jake are on the train, Jake decided to change his clothes because he don't like the school uniform. That's not his thing, okay? When they get off this train, they're walking down the street and they run into these group of boys, and the group of boys is like coming at them like, yo, what the F you got on, and blah, 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 blah. And you know, Jake is a thug deep down inside, okay? So he's stepping back at him like, yo, get the F out of my face, what you want to do? You know, like basically about to fight. Now, the whole time, the cops is standing right there. They like, break it up, break it up. So as Jake and Kevin start walking down the street, the cops walk up to them like, can I have your ID? You got, let me see your ID. So I'm sitting there like, so you just watch them boys step to them and you asking them for the ID? This don't make no freaking sense. So Jake like, man, get out of here. I ain't gotta show you nothing. The cop literally pushed him down, talk about something, stop resisting arrest, and start beating him. Y'all, when I say he was beating him up, he was beating him up. I mean, he was going at him. And I was like, what in the world? This escalated really, really, really fast, okay? And I mean, it was crazy. Like, my heart sank. I felt so sick from watching it, okay? And then Kevin tries to come in and like, you know, what he do? The other guy pulled his gun out on him, like, get down. And he just got down to the ground. Y'all, I sat there in shock. I was like, OMG. My heart literally sank in my stomach because it was like, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Okay, they pick up Jake and they put him in a cop car. And when Jake was sitting there, they started playing Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. And you could just see the hurt on his face. You can see the bruises on his face. And the song is just playing in the background. And the whole time I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this reality is our reality. It hit home. And I know, like, a lot of people would say, oh, I'm tired of seeing this. I'm tired of watching it. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of watching it. But it's the reality of the situation of the real world that we living in. Somebody has to show these people what this looks like and what it feels like to go from 0 to 100 real quick for no reason whatsoever. So for the message, I can appreciate it. For the reality of it, it hurt me a lot. So they get to the scene of the kids just sitting at the table, like kind of like in silence, just trying to take in what just happened and like, you know, digest it. And Maisha's, you know, looking at the video and Kevin's like, don't post it. She like, no, I think I need to post it. So when Kevin gets upset, and walk away. Papa tells her like, listen, gotta post it. She's like, you think we're gonna get in trouble? He was like, all trouble, not bad trouble. And I was like, you gotta post it. You gotta do the right thing. People need to see it. You gotta post it. If you don't post it, everything that Jake just went through was gonna be in vain. And this is gonna continue to happen over and over and over again. And the fact that Kevin didn't want him to post it just made me sit there and say, like, did he not want him to post it because he was gonna be embarrassed for him and himself? Did he not want that sympathy? Like, why didn't he want them to post it? He never gave us that reason. So it just left us wondering why he didn't want them to post it, y'all. But I was here for it, and I was definitely in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie about it. I was definitely in my feelings. So Keisha meets with the parents who can potentially adopt her child when she gives birth. Okay, now I can't remember this lady, and I'm looking at her like, where is she from? What is she from? Y'all gotta let me know where she's from. But anyway, she's sitting on one side of the couch and her husband's sitting on another side of the couch. And they kind of like, you know, answering the questions that Keisha had for them. She tells them that the house is beautiful, you know, but then she says, are y'all good? Are y'all good? And she was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I can feel attention. I can feel attention. But Keisha lets them know like she wants her child to grow up in a 2-family home. Okay, so for them, if they not going to be together, if they going to be divorced or whatever the case may be, she not with it. She definitely not with it. And she just don't like the vibe she getting, okay? And on that note, they decide that they're going to leave and revisit this at a later date, okay? Now, Kevin, y'all, is stressed out. Kevin done been through a lot in his life. And at this point, I think he done had enough. The boy is literally drinking out of a bottle and smoking a blunt. Now, mind y'all, these high school kids, okay? Literally drinking out of a bottle and smoking a blunt. Having flashbacks of getting guns pulled on him. Hearing stop resisting arrest down to the ground over and over. Looking at his friend get beat up. He's just replaying it over and over in his head. And we already know he's dealt with a lot of trauma, okay? So he's dealing with that mentally. He's just smoking and drinking and smoking and drinking and smoking and drinking. And I just felt so bad because, like, it's a cycle. At some point, it just becomes a cycle of your environment. So Emmett, his wife, and his father and Dominic are getting ready to have dinner, okay? They in the kitchen, you know, cooking it up, or tasting the edibles or whatever the case may be. Like, ooh, we might be on to something, okay? Emmett's father come in with the VCR, okay? The whole VCR, the video cassette tape, okay? We about to watch Soul Food. I'm about to hook it up. They like a VCR. Like, who the heck got VCR? What we gonna do with this? So he goes in there to try to set it up. And Dominic and Tiffany are in the, kitchen, kikiing, laughing, basically about the edibles and the VCR tape. And he like, what y'all laughing at? Who y'all talking about, me? And I was like, that guilt is eating him up so bad that every little thing, okay, every little thing, he feels it's about him. Like he just know at any moment this gonna blow up. I'm like, Emmett, let me tell you something, sir. If she was telling her that she had sex with you, they would not be in this kitchen kikiing and laughing. You would probably be in that bathroom with her tugging on the door, trying to get in and whoop your behind. Because I'm assuming that's probably what this leading down to. Okay, that 1 month preview that we saw, I'm assuming that that's where this is going. But anyway, so when Tracy's at the restaurant, with the ladies having a good time, the mayor walks in with his wife and she's like, just kind of like drooling a little bit. They like, girl, you better stop drooling over that married man. And she like, I'm not drooling over him. Okay. But she's about to go talk to him. Okay. She gets herself together. She goes over there. She sits down. They start talking. The man's like, oh, I got to go do something. I'll be right back. He got to go get this phone call. So he walks away to get the phone call. Candy says to her, Rosalind, AKA Candy, says to her, so you want to F my husband? That's okay. I don't mind sharing. I was like, oh, so y'all fine with just exposing y'all fake marriage, okay? You fine with just exposing your fake marriage at this point because you think that she want him that bad, okay? Y'all go ahead and blow the cover if you want to, honey. Go ahead and blow the cover. But anyway, he comes back and he says that he gotta leave, okay? He got something he need to go take care of. Now, Emma's mother is sitting at the table and she get a drink sent over to her. So they like, who that's from? Who that's from? She like, Mama Seuss. It's like, he giving out happy endings. I was like, he absolutely is. Y'all remember, okay, the last time she was getting her body rubbed down, it definitely ended in a happy ending, okay? So now she done got her a drink sent over and she feeling good about that drink. And I was like, I bet she is. Okay. So Victor comes running into the hospital, like, that's my brother. What's up with my brother? He goes in and he see him in the bed. He like, oh my God, who did this to you? He like, I was resisting arrest. They said I was resisting arrest. He like, I want blood. He's pissed. And I don't blame him. He's upset. The mayor walks in and he's like, oh, what in the world? Like, what happened to you? And he's like, you need to do something, mayor. You the mayor, right? You need to do something. They got my brother in here chained to a bed like a wild animal. Mayor goes out to the hallway to the police officer like, unchain him. Do you know who I am? Then you better unchain him. Now get the F out. I was like, the energy. I'm here for the energy. Okay. Meanwhile, Jake is like, why you here? Why you here? He like, I'm still your guardian. Like, I'm still responsible for you. Okay. Victor is going back and forth with the mayor because he like, you the mayor, you need to do something. He like, what do you need me to do? He like, I want his record clean. He don't need no record. He like, I can handle that. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of it. Meanwhile, Victor is out for blood. Victor lived by that street code. Okay. You do something to mine, I do something to yours. So he's out for blood. He's pissed. He's upset. And I don't blame him. But you got to let the system somehow work in your favor. Unfortunately, sometimes it don't. But going out an eye for eye is not necessarily the right way all the time. I know it may seem like the most easiest way and the most satisfying way. But y'all, it's not. It's definitely not. So Kevin finally got done finished drinking and smoking, and he goes into the house and he's just like, all dazed out. And they're like, Kevin, what's wrong? Kevin, what's wrong? And Kevin just not saying nothing. And then he says the police. Because, he got a bruise on his eye. And they're like, what happened? And he like, the police. And he goes in his room and his mom comes in and she's like, you want to talk about it? And he's just like, no. And she just like, holds him and comfort him. And I'm just like, so many things were said without being said, okay? It's nothing like the strength of a mother. Their mother, between Keisha and Kevin alone, has been through a lot. And she is strong, okay? And she has been there for her kids every freaking step of the way. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I was like, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. So now Emmett, Dominique, Tiffany, and his father is back at the house. High is God knows what. And I mean dumb high. Like high, okay? I mean like twisted. Them edibles got them going, okay? They watching Soul Food. In the Soul Food, when the cousin slept with the, her cousin's husband, the scene was explosive. Like, you slept with my husband. You slept with my husband. And Keisha like, that's right. You shouldn't have been cheating. You shouldn't have been cheating. The whole time the room is spinning. Lala looking at Emmett looking at Lala. He's freaking out because, the guilt is getting to him. And I was like, oh, don't be guilty now, sir. You wasn't guilty when you was up in it. Don't be all dazed out and scared and, all in your feelings right now, okay? But he's high. So the paranoia is like really like digging in him at this point, okay? But eventually it calms down. The father and him pass out on the couch and Lala and Tiffany are sitting at the table. And they like, I don't know what we gonna do with the men because, they in there passed out. She's like, I don't know. And she's like, I really feel like, Emmett is the best thing. You and Emmett getting married is the best thing that could have happened to all of us. And I sat there and I thought, oh, so you slept with her fiance. Then they got married. So now you gonna go hop on his father. And that's the best thing that could have happened by him marrying you. Because now I don't have to worry about him and I can just be happy with the father. Trifling. Trifling, okay? But anyway, now Keisha goes to Kevin and she's trying to talk to him. And she's trying to, tell him, he needs to talk to somebody. He needs to, get this off his chest. He don't want to be cooped up in the room thinking it's his fault and, things like that. And then there's a knock on the door. And she's like, you expecting somebody? He like, no. Okay, so the lady who was supposed to be adopting her child comes and she breaks her popcorn and she tries to tell her, like, listen, I just want to be honest with you and I want to let you know that me and my husband are getting divorced. Keisha don't want to hear that. Keisha like, I want my child to be brought up in a two-parent household. I'm sorry, but just telling her, like, no, I want my child to be brought up in a two-family household. She's like, I can understand that. And, I just wanted to be honest with you. And she was like, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the popcorn. And that's how it go. And that's how it went. But a part of me was just like, Keisha, this woman is willing to love this child. She went to the extent of soon-to-be ex-husband come over just to better her odds of being able to adopt this child because she wanted it so bad. You don't know who's going to break up your child. You can give that child to a married couple and they can be toxic. They can be abusive together. You don't know what you're doing. This woman is willing to love this child and you won't even give her the chance. It just really made me feel some type of way. Kevin goes to see Jake, okay? And Jake like, yo, it's about time. Like, where you been at? It's about time. And he like, I don't like hospitals. Jake was like, me either. Me either. So Jake was like, maybe if I would have had my uniform, this wouldn't have happened. And Kevin was like, no, if you would have listened to the cops, this probably wouldn't have happened. And he was like, so what you want me to do? He like, you could have just walked away. And he was like, well, what did you do? You could have at least recorded it. He was like, Maisha recorded it. He was like, well, Maisha more of a rider than you. And I was sitting there like, what in the world? Okay, this is the reality of it, okay? The reality is that everybody is always going to have a different side to what could have happened, okay? If he would have had on his uniform, would the cops have said something? If he would have just showed his ID, would that not have happened? Like, there's always a would have. There's two sides to both, right? Because you feel like even though Kevin listened to the cop, he still walked out with a black eye. So how much does that tell you? Y'all, I don't know. Okay? Now, Kevin's like, I'm about to leave. I'm going to talk to you later. And on his way out, Papa comes in like, yo, what's going on? And Papa kind of smooths everything out. I was like, takes Papa to come and save the day. I like me some Papa, okay? I like me some Papa. He's the energy for me. I like him, okay? Especially when he starts speaking about his Bible study and everything, okay? So anyway, Emma's mom is getting ready to go out on her date with the masseuse, okay? He comes over and she's like, oh, let me grab my pocketbook. And he was like, you ain't gonna need that. I'm like, yes, you do. I don't care what no man say. You don't need, you always take your own money, keep it in your pocket, okay? You stash it, you never know, okay? He might not, his car might get declined, he might try to walk out on you, he might get robbed on the way there. You need to have your own money. I don't care, okay? I know it sounds good, but girl, you better go grab your pocketbook and stop playing with me. But anyway, they go out on a little date, okay? The mayor goes over to see Tiffany in her building. She was like, so what you doing here? He was like, I came to help. She was like, you kind of overdressed. And he takes off his shirt when his little white beater, showing or whatever the case may be. And she looking at his arms as he's undressing. And then he comes over and she says, you heard about those boys that got beat by the cops? And he was like, yes. And she was like, so what you gonna do about it? He was like, I'm gonna take care of it. And she was like, good. And he was like, I'm sorry about what happened to your son. And then they just start painting. And I'm assuming that they probably started doing it too. Yeah, I'm assuming that. Okay, I'm just going to assume because it seemed like the right environment for it. But anyway, meanwhile, Victor, Jake's brother, and his girlfriend are standing outside plotting. And what I'm going to assume was the police officer who came out, he came out and he started beating his behind. And a part of me was like, yes, F him up, F him up, F him up. He deserved it. A part of me wanted to, a part of me felt it, Oh, it was like revenge. It was like good revenge, It's not right, but it felt good. It felt good. And that's how it went off, y'all. And that's just episode 1. If this is what I got to look forward to for the next couple of weeks, I am here and excited for the Shy. When I say that they did this, y'all. And if y'all did not go watch it, y'all need to go watch it because you're going to be sitting there with a ton of emotions the whole time because I know I did. And it's just the beginning. We just getting started. So I'm going to be back next week. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. Don't forget to comment, like this video, and subscribe. And I'll be back, y'all. Peace.